Hi everybody, in today's video I'm going to talk about medical insurance via cash payments. If you're like me, you've been on many YouTube channels and listened to different people test or given advice on what insurance policy to get and everything else. But I'm going to give you some facts about medical insurance and also paying cash here in the Philippines. Now, in 1996, when I left the military, I got a job with an oil company and I was traveling quite extensively around different countries. Now, they covered me insurance-wise whilst I was traveling on their behalf and working on their behalf, but in between, I used to get 4, maybe 5 weeks off. So I had to insure myself. Now, I insured myself through a company, and I won't mention its name, but I was paying about £250 a month. Now, I kept that company for maybe 7 or 8 years, not thinking anything about it. Then one day, I was sitting at my desk and I thought, oh, I'll just go onto their website and see how much the policies have increased. Anyway, I went onto the website and I was shocked to see that the policy that I had for worldwide medical cover had actually decreased. Now, I phoned them up and I said, can I cancel my policy and renew with a new one so I pay less money? They said no. What they gave me was 1 month free without payment. I wasn't very happy with that. Now, what annoys me with medical insurance is, unlike car insurance, if you don't claim, the policy goes down like a no claim bonus. Well, in them 6 or 7 years, maybe more, I never claimed once off that insurance policy. And it was annoying that you hear of other people claiming all the time. And what annoys me with some of these insurance policies, especially when COVID-19 came out, that whenever you do claim, sometimes it takes a while, or they bring up some small print that whatever you're claiming for isn't part of their policy. Now, in the end, I cancelled it and I carried on travelling abroad during my vacation times, just going through my bank, which is Lloyds Bank in England, and they give you free insurance, travel insurance. Or I just pay for 1 month insurance. Remember, I was paying £250. I think that's about 25,000 pesos now. Anyway, I came to the Philippines, and before I came, I looked at all the other YouTube saying about medical insurance, blah, blah, blah. But I decided that I won't do medical insurance until I come here. Now, what I told you about my insurance policy is fact. It's the honest truth. I don't bullshit on any of these videos when I tell people what actually happened to me. Now, when I came here to the Philippines, about 5 months later, whilst I was renovating a house in the city, as I do live in the city, and you can probably hear karaoke in the background coming from some bar, but that's part of life here. I was bitten by a mosquito, and I call it dengue fever. Now, dengue fever, I don't know if you've experienced dengue fever, but to me it's worse than COVID. I've had COVID-19 when I was abroad, and yes, it knocks the breath out of you, it makes you weak and tired and everything else, but once you're on the recovery path, you recover. But with dengue fever, even after I recovered, I hadn't recovered because my legs were aching. I couldn't walk, I couldn't stand in a shop unless I could sit down. And it took a long time to get back to normal. Now, when I had dengue fever, I went to the hospital and I saw a doctor, and it cost me 1,000 pesos every time I saw that doctor. And I think I saw him 3 times. The first time I went, I paid him 1,000 pesos. He said, go down to the ground floor where they do all the samples. I went down there, I think I paid 300 or 400 peso to get my blood sampled and various other urine, various other tests. Then I got the results. I waited and got the results there and then I went back to the doctor. I was diagnosed for dengue fever. Now in the end, all I had to pay for was my prescription medicine. That's all I paid for. Now, I don't think in total I paid more than 5,000 or 7,000 pesos for the whole lot. Yeah? 5,000 or 7,000 pesos compared to what I could have paid or would have been paying if I had medical insurance. But that's if dengue fever was covered by it or something like that. I just don't know. But then sometime later, not long ago actually, I had a kidney stone. Now I knew it was a kidney stone because on my left kidney I had the same thing when I lived in Cyprus, and I don't know whether you've had a kidney stone, but they say it's worse than having a baby, the pain. Well, that I can't confirm, but the pain is absolutely unbearable, and in the end I had to phone my neighbour to take me to the hospital in Larnaca. Anyway, the following day I was fine, it came out. So when I was here, I was getting the same sort of pains on my right side, and I had a funny feeling that it was a kidney stone. So my friend got a tricycle. We went to the hospital, which is only 10 minutes down the road. I was taken in straight away because I was in pain. They gave me an injection for painkiller. I then went and saw the doctor that you pay off. I don't even know how much it was. It was just a few hundred pesos. Then I had to go and get some tests done, an X-ray, I think, and the pain had gone. I was advised to come back the following day for an MIR scan, which I did do, and that cost me 1,200 peso. I walked to the hospital because it was so near, and that night when I actually had the pain and went back home, I went to the toilet and the little stone actually came out. It was there on the toilet, you know, in the toilet, a little stone. And after that, I've had no pain since then. Now, that cost for that treatment, seeing the doctor twice, going and getting tests, bringing the results back to her, going to the MIR scan the following day, again, it didn't even cost me more than 7,000. In fact, it was probably less. I can't remember paying that much out. And I had to pay for the medication and everything else. Now, what is the comparison? I can either pay, say, 20,000 a month for the next 2 or 3 years and not even use it. It's a lot of money. If you got money in the bank, then I don't advise anyone to get medical insurance. If you've got money in the bank that you can pay for any unevent that happens health-wise. Now, if you don't have money in the bank, then how are you going to pay for your medical insurance anyway? And at the same time, how are you going to pay for your treatment by cash? But obviously, paying treatment by cash will be a lot cheaper than paying 20,000 plus per month, depending on what the policy is you have. Now, I'm lucky. I'm in a situation where I got some money in the bank that if I had a serious illness, then I could pay for it. But this is what you've got to weigh up. You may not use your medical insurance here for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but you're still paying it. And what are these people doing? They're in a business. They want their business to create revenue. So they will go out of their way to find some little clause that says, sorry, you didn't claim, or you didn't insure yourself for this, you didn't insure yourself for that, or you left your claim too late. And then on top of that, you've also got the stress of claiming you may have to pay the money up front, and then you may have to claim it back from the insurers. That may take months and months and months. It's added stress. Now, obviously it depends on the illness and everything else, but you've got to weigh it all up. What is best? Paying an insurance policy every month with the so-called satisfaction that you're covered, if it's in the clause that you're covered for that particular illness or accident or whatever, or you just put the money by, if you've got it, and pay for it cash as and when it happens. Like I said, with dengue fever, with kidney stone, the cost was minimal. I wouldn't even got that cheap if I lived in the UK. And I know for a fact I was lucky in Cyprus, because at that time UK was part of the EU, so I was covered by the NHS, so to speak, in Cyprus. But again, that treatment wouldn't have cost me much either, because I just had 2 injections, X-ray. He showed me on the X-ray that the stone is passing down, and it will pass itself in a days. Just drink plenty of water, and it did. But that could have been my only illness in 12 months, and you work out, it would have been over 120,000 pesos that I would have paid for that year for one little bit of treatment that may have cost me 5 or 6,000 pesos. So it's up to you. In my opinion, I wouldn't touch medical insurance, because like I said, they're out to run a business. They're not there because they care. They're not there because they want to be like a nurse and treat you for every small ailment that you have. They are there to make money. They are there to run a business. Without you, they close down. But everything with them is not smooth. And like I said, if you've got a medical insurance policy now, go back onto their website and see how much they're charging now, because like me, your policy may have dropped. They may have dropped the price to try and entice more customers, but they don't inform you if there's a reduction in the price. So what I've told you is absolutely honest truth. I can show you papers what I got from the hospital for my my stone, and I can give you proof of the medication and the doctors that when I went for the fever. Dengue fever is no joke, but it was made a hell of a lot easier because I just paid for everything up front. Go and get a blood test, you pay for it. Go and see the doctor, you pay him. You leave that hospital fully paid. You don't owe anything. You don't have to claim anything. You don't have to go on the website and get a claim form and do this and that, and then they come back with 20 questions, or they want documentation. It all depends on your personal circumstances. If you've got the money in the bank, keep it in the bank. That's my advice, and just pay as and when you need it. If you don't have money in the bank, but you've got a pension or something coming in, put something aside at least maybe 500 pesos or even more. It depends on obviously what you can afford. I haven't touched Feel Health because I'm not qualified to speak on Feel Health, but Feel Health, as far as I know, is a very basic thing that may help on maybe some very basic treatment costs. But let's think the big picture. The big picture is, can you afford medical insurance? If so, is it worth it? If you don't use it, and you may not use it for 5 or 6 years, you don't know. No one knows what's around the corner. I could get knocked down by a bus tomorrow, but I may not, and I may live for the next 6 or 7 years without any illnesses. And I think, look at that, 6 or 7 years worth of insurance money that I paid only to subsidise someone else that's always claiming every time they go on holiday, whether it's broken glasses or teeth or whatever. I've seen it all before. So it's up to you guys. I hope this has helped. It's factual, true and honest. So thanks very much. I'm going to see if my remote works this time. No. God. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.